It started with maybe one cake a month, and it went on to one cake a fortnight, to one cake a week, to one cake a day, and then it was like 2-3 cakes a day, and it just kept on multiplying. This went on for almost about 15-16 years, and then I felt like, now this is getting just too much for me to do it single-handedly. I just had one maid with me who was actually my children's ayah, but then I trained her how to bake a cake, and so she would bake the sponge for me, she would make the icing for me, but then the actual thing only I would do. My biggest blessing in life was my husband. He saw the potentials in me, and he said, no, like, you have to grow big. Enough is enough of this doing yourself. And then we used to have this little outhouse, like pehle ke zamane mein the Khan Sama used to make the food outside. So that was like a small room, which was like just a little utility room. So he pushed me over there with my mixer and with my pots and pans and the oven, and from that small little thing, Tauby's came up. So when I started making the cakes, people knew as kisko order kiya, Tauby ko order kiya. And then when I started my first shop in 2006, and when we were sort of thinking what name to keep it, he said, why don't you call it Tauby's? See, generally the problems that women face when they want to do something of their own is initial lack of support from the entire family. Now in my case, fortunately, I was very lucky. I didn't go through all that. Like when my kids were small, my work was small, like that's when I gained my experience. And as they grew old, like when in their growing stages, one thing was anybody asked them, what do you hate most about mama? The bakery. They had a standard question. They hated the bakery because whenever it would be time for their chutti, like come Diwali, come Christmas, when they wanted to go out, and like I would be too tied up with my work. But then it's okay. At that point they hated me, but then as they grew up and they realized, and they started feeling very happy and proud of their mother. They were all extremely supportive, very accommodative, very pushy. And my husband, so like as I told you, if I am today what I am, it's all thanks to him. And another thing is financial support. Like coming from a pretty decent family, I didn't have to get into any loans or anything like that to start. So these are the two main problems that women face. I finished my training, ground training, everything, and I was cleared for flying on my 21st birthday. And I had never traveled abroad before that. To get to see the whole world, plus to be paid in foreign currency, to shop, to see, and I knew I'm getting married into a home which is quite decent. My parents are doing pretty well for themselves, so I never had the tension of kuch paise save karna hai, ya flat kharidna hai, ke car kharidna hai. It was all there for me. I knew it, like it was, my life was quite well planned out. I mean, they were the best years of my life because I was totally carefree. There were no responsibilities on my head. And the best part about a flying job is it's one flight. The flight begins and the flight ends. The chapter closes. It never carries forward. Definitely. In the beginning, like before my first shop opened, there was a lot of tension within, like, and even today, before every shop would open, like there is a tension, will the shop take off, will it not? Because there have been a couple of shops which have opened and I had to shut down in no time because, they have not taken off. So, tension is there. Why? Now see, it is your money that is invested. You have a name, you have a brand to cater to. People expect something out of you. Sometimes you get a complaint which makes you sleepless. It bothers you that, how did it happen? Why did it happen? How do I arrest it that it won't happen again? So, with your own work, with your own responsibility come tension. See, it is not a very easy task now. Like if I take Tauby's to other cities, okay, the thing is I have to put up a full production unit. Cakes, pastries, desserts are very highly perishable. I've got umpteen number of phone calls from right down from Jabalpur also, that put up a Tauby's here. Raipur se I've got calls. But that means putting up a whole production unit over there. Most important for anything, there has to be passion within. If you don't have that passion, if you don't have that drive within, just don't do it. Why? Because you see that your friend or your family has, some member of your friend has sort of succeeded. No. And there are bound to be failures, there are bound to be problems in life. Life is not a bed of roses. At every point in life you will falter. But then always remember that after one dark night there is a bright morning tomorrow. Don't get disheartened with it. Don't think that, okay, don't just turn back from there. You keep on going ahead. should have that thing within that yes, I can do it and I will do it, and whatever I do, I will do to the best of my ability. That's very important. Don't be a mediocre in life. Whatever you do, do it to give your fullest, give your best shot to it. And I'm sure nothing can come in your way. Every hurdle you will cross like this.